Should get right into it. Oh, unless anyone else has anything else they need to bring up or ask questions about before we begin. Okay, cool. Welcome back to Jim's Salabim. You are part of a small group that has been tasked with assisting the Antichrist. This elite few are all being coordinated along very set, well, seemingly set plans, although some of it seems to have been arranged or organized on a whim. Other parts could be days, weeks, months, or even years in the planning. No one can say for certain. The Antichrist is a very strange, fickle person. One leg of the journey in particular that seems quite important is dealing with the matter of Don and Linda Reyes, the top retainers to the president of the Seven Nation Army. Tentatively, the agreement is that they would be able to receive the body of one Elder Reyes, father of Don Reyes, ally and compatriot of the Jaguar clan, and long estranged from his son. Elder Reyes was a guerrilla fighter and potential assassin in Japan, killed by a just unleashed curse wave, amalgam mess, whatever you want to call it, a cacophony of curses, a storm of them, after having shot Sonny Fortuna in the head with a ripple charged blast. He unfortunately met his fate there before you went on to solve the problem at the Hoshino Dam, I believe it was called, and Crown Rihanna. But the matter of his body is of some importance, for as has been said by other members of the family line, there is a gathering of power within their blood, one which Don Reyes seeks to wield himself, a legendary blade that will manifest once all powers are gathered within one vessel, the All-Star. However, none of this is quite as important as what Don Reyes did here on this very island we are about to visit, the Isle of Doma. Boop. Let's get over there. The Isle of Doma, located off the eastern waters of Vladivostok towards the Sea of Japan, was once home to a proud people, Domons, a tribe that are said to have descended from an ancient coastal kingdom long, long, long ago. One of many nomadic groups which left that kingdom in search of other places of power throughout the world, other historical and holy sites which they gathered around and created communities near. In the instance of the Isle of Doma, there are strange, wavy towers that seem to grow out of the ground, like natural rock formations, made with such oddly carved stone from water and wind that they curve bullets. They rebuke explosion. They cannot be set on fire. They cannot be pushed over. They cannot be demolished. Those towers which rise here and there on the isle are something of a monument to the majesty and the divinity that can be found within nature. And the Domans knew this when they came here. It drew them. In their history, it is said that the waves pushed them towards this island. And this island, thus, has been their home for thousands of years. Throughout the rise and fall of the various powers that have attempted to take hold of nearby Russia and Asia, the Domans have been steadfast, not participating in war, but not fleeing from conflict. They merely wished for a peaceful existence, one where they could continue to strengthen their bonds to the ocean and to nature, and to the very rippling heart of life itself, which they say they can commune with through those wavy stone formations. But these are dark times. These are, as some call them, the end times. And not long ago, comparatively, in the great span of history, it all happened in the blink of an eye, that the Dorabo group colluded with the Seven Nation Army to take over this island and to turn it into a luxury resort for the Japanese, those who flee their cursed nation, looking for places to live in comfort, beauty, and splendor. Around the world, citizens of Japan with the means and the influence are able to live in such luxury resorts as these. And it could be no coincidence, surely, that so many of them are built practically on the graveyards and cemeteries, the burial mounds of those native people who loved their sacred territories, who are named often after these places. Dorabo very decidedly has put these colonies here. And woe be unto those native tribes and peoples who do not simply move out of the way when progress, opportunity, and profit are on the line. Once the massacre occurred on Doma, the Doman people themselves became like quiet ghosts, it seemed, pushed towards the very edge of their island they once inhabited in great number. 9,000 souls cut down to a mere 2. Those who remained on the island do so under the yoke of the Dorabo group. Either they work in the christened Golden Love Resort, placed near the heart of the island, or they seek work on Vladivostok, where they are oppressed, to say the least, by the Seven Nation Army government. They and many other ethnic groups who do not fall in line, do not accept the universal language, do not accept many of the Seven Nation Army's ways, and do not allow themselves to be weaponized in any way. Those who resist the Seven Nation Army are slowly squeezed until they change their mind. The Domans are no exception. They are living dark, dark days since that massacre. And that, my friends, is where you are landing. The southern shores of the Isle of Doma, where the sea life seems at ease. Fish of many colors and hues swim freely in waters seemingly calm, warm even to the touch, Sands, too, of many shades, drift in and out, pulled by the waters, and fragments of a strange white stone can be seen tumbling along the shore. Also littered on the southern shores are these strange green huts, seemingly made from reappropriated machinery, bound and fused together with ivy, strands of green that grow deeply within the clockwork heart of some of these huts. Whether they are refineries or living abodes, it is difficult to tell. Small plumes of smoke rise from some, and others remain inert. If one were a giant, this would seem like something of a riverbank in a forest that hadn't been touched in roughly 20 or 30 years, where nature attempted to reclaim whatever lost toy or cell phone had been left and dropped. And yet, there are things living in these structures, just as there would be in anything that you left on the forest floor. Ants would be crawling in them. Maybe birds would steal pieces of them. The difference being, of course, the Domons are a little bit smarter than forest critters. You may even see some of them peddling small wares to one another, things that they have found, shined up, and decided were useful. Parts for a toaster, a small oven, that sort of thing. Practical goods. As you arrive on the southern shores, we have to take account of who is in the boat to begin with. There is one, Blue, a detective from Guam in the city of Stella Maris. Someone who has agreed to come on this mission and, in fact, seemed quite adamant that it happen. A cop with questionable morals at times, who has done things that are shady, to say the least. Now seemingly turned more towards the side of goodness and light. Supposedly. Probably. And the other figure on the boat, at least the only other one that is of adult height and not lying in a box. The good Dr. Icepeake, another member of the Stella Maris Police Department, a mortician and medical doctor who works with forensic analysis. And, of course, the many strange occurrences of Guam itself, which happen to leave quite a few curiously dead bodies. If one is lucky, they'll be dead anyway. If not, well, that's what WeF stands for. The two of you seemed very gung-ho about coming to Doma, which is good, because the Antichrist seemed to have it all planned out that you would come here, and in particular to deal with a certain Don Reyes. So as your boat approaches the southern shores of the Isle of Doma, what first draws your eyes? Not a rhetorical question.
Okay. I was waiting to see if there was a description you would say. Are we arriving at the more, like, I'm sure this place is full of memories, like how much things have changed?
Sure. Things do look different if you had seen this place before. There are no longer the playful sounds of electric strings by strong and romantic young men and women hoping to catch the attention of their beloveds. No more families having nice picnics on the sand. No fishermen boasting of their catches or sharpening their spears. Now you only see the occasional person walking down the shoreline wearing a thick sweater and a thread-worn baseball cap. Someone has stolen the life from this painting you once called a memory. And I would say from where you are, in the far distance, there is a resort, a high tower standing in the middle of it. You are far off from it. But yes, the Golden Love Resort stands tall over everything else on the island. You couldn't possibly miss that.
I'd say Blue is just staring kind of misty-eyed.
There we go. I can make the little spinning marker more visible. For future reference, whenever there's a map, the little spinny guy is kind of indicating where you are. And if you zoom in very, 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 very close, you'll see that it's Rust.
Is
It is.
Oh. Thanks, Rust.
On the shoreline, as you scan it, Blue, you can see that there is a red wolf hiding amongst the rocks. At some point, it must have slipped from the boat and gotten onto the shore. It goes to hide once again from sight. It will be on the island somewhere, doing something. Maybe just watching you. Maybe hunting. The question is, would you have told Icepeake about this red wolf?
Probably haven't mentioned it yet, but I guess I'd tell her now. Oh, that red wolf we met was just Jason asked to come along to spill the blood.
She slowly raises an eyebrow, but nods slightly. I suppose that is what it wanted in the first place. And, well, we might be. Nikolas and Joni is also with us, I believe.
Yes, actually, Joni would be with you. Joni is currently trying not to be seasick. Feeling like a kid who's been dragged along to a museum visit or a tourist kind of attraction. She already looks exhausted by the time you guys arrive, even though it hasn't been that long of a boat ride. She slides on a thick pair of sunglasses. At last, land.
I find the Doma houses to be restful for seasickness and most illnesses, if there is still one standing.
She raises her sunglasses to point towards one of the scrap houses on the beach. Y'all talking about those things?
They are more than they appear, I believe.
Oof. They look like the type of houses I'd see out in the wasteland. Bandits had put stuff up like that so they could well, gather up whatever they haul from anyone unlucky enough to be caught in one of their spike traps or dragged behind one of their trucks. Although I don't see any skulls, so that's nice. She kind of nods sincerely.
Yes, the decor seems to be more sea-based, which I have no opinion on either. Um, I do, as for Nicholas, uh, I believe Icepeake would have given him something to entertain him during the trip, which
Oh,
is
what'd you give him?
an eel to dissect. Would you like to dissect small eel, small animal?
Okay. If you gave him an eel to dissect, he has. Let's see. He has turned it into a belt.
All right, but there was a worksheet with the like internal organs all labeled. She would test him on it.
He, as he's pointing to each internal organ, says, "Ah, chewy, bitter, salty, disgusting. Yeah, I threw that one out.
It is best you learn them for your potential to rise.
Lady, take a look around." He kind of like just motions to the shoreline itself. Nobody's got a future. What do I care what I learn? It's dummy talk. Got a new belt though. He kind of jingles his belt at you. You notice there are like bells attached to it.
Do you wish to be useful? Oh yes, the belt is very nice. It is remade and purposed very well. I'm sure it will be waterproof as well. But if you wish to be more useful to Mr. Leroy, such learned things may come in handy.
He just starts picking his nose. You really don't know what's going on, huh?
Would you tell me?
Pretty high chance. I'm probably gonna die at some point during this mission. It's practically guaranteed. I don't give a shit about learning or a future. I don't need a new mom, a new dad. Don't want a dog. I'm not gonna be an astronaut or the president of the United States or whatever the shit.
She grabs his little face and turns it up to look at him, to look at his eyes. I will make sure you live.
Give me a gaze roll. Hard to discern, but you've seen the eyes of killers before. Nicholas Pine has the eyes of a killer, not a child.
Mm.
Don't get your hopes up. You hear him mutter under his breath, bitch.
I need you to live. You must return to Sunny. Or, forgive me, Mr. Leroy.
Oh, I'll make sure that part happens. You guys just go ahead and make with the chop chop. Then I'll make with the and then I'll probably
I'm not sure that would be the order of things.
Yeah, it's possible I might first.
We will find out. I would like to make our way toward one of these, the village.
Sure. These you want to make your way. If you're on the southern shore, you will notice that there are domons here and there scattered. We'll say like 6 or 7 of them. They keep their head down, and when most of them see you, they just look away. like they are not really trying to get involved in your business.
I would approach one and whisper to them in Domon. It's probably a little rusty.
Sure. What do you want to whisper?
I just said I'm looking for a healer or a place to go to.
The Doman you whisper to looks pretty surprised. Where are you from? What is these clothes? They like start to pick a little bit at your. Are you still wearing your work clothes? Your lab coat?
I am because an EMT, so I guess it would still be okay to wear it.
Okay.
I just let him pick at me a little. I have come back only recently. After she just trails off.
Lost child. You should speak with the people in town. Ebonifi village will be happy to see you again. Daughter of Doma.
I am unsure of such thing, but it would be useful to reconnect.
He pulls his hat down. I get the feeling you probably want to leave here soon enough. This is not a good life or easy life. Still, I am glad that you have returned. Are you a child of one of our people? You seem. He kind of starts picking at you again a little and even pokes your cheek. You seem different.
I lean over to let him touch my face. She actually kind of closes her eyes.
Yeah, he does.
I am different. I am child of the sea as well.
Oh. Huh. How wonderful. He's good. He just kind of smiles and gives you a small pat on the shoulder. I cannot point you towards the right direction. My eyes are not what they used to be. But if you look, you see a wind picks up and blows the smallest little tuft of hair that he still has on his otherwise bald head once he takes his hat off. You can see where you should go. One moment. He licks his fingers and then gives himself like a cow lick. You see that once he pulls the little tuft of hair up, it's about 6-7 inches long, and then it begins to wave towards the distant village, blowing in the wind.
I thank you for your assistance in the sea as well. Blessed to you.
Yes. Good tides will take you there. He puts his hat back on. Blessings to you and to those you travel with. Welcome home to Doma. The village that he mentioned, it's not very far. You do see that, I mean, you've been close up enough to him now. He does have kind of cloudy eyes.
Do you need assistance in your sight?
Oh, no. I am good with my hands. So I should go back. I have to sort scrap. Um, when he says his hands, you notice he's wearing ragged mittens, and part of them have been kind of closed up with duct tape. It's good work, honest work, better work than what I might get otherwise. Don't worry for me. Go on your journey. The waves take us in different directions today. He nods his head and lowers his cap.
I nod my head as well and direct the rest of the group toward the village.
All right. At the village, you hear the first thing you hear is a bit of a commotion. Evanifi village was once likely a small settlement of like fishing huts and just a general place where you would come after you had a good day at the beach to relax and just enjoy the shore, to smoke fish, to show everyone else your haul, to have some drinks and snacks where the old people would watch the birds. It has since become far more than that. There are the familiar, of course, stone formations that grow kind of everywhere where huts go up around the village, around the island. But it is also kind of packed with trailers and what look like just small shanties, really ramshackle little houses. Clotheslines hang up everywhere. There are barrel fires burning towards the center of what looks like a small village. And the people there are not the type of people that you likely remember. I mean, they are speaking in Domon. They have the friendly air that you remember about the Domans, but they're older, they're tired. Some of them just look straight, like just broken as people. Their faces are weathered. Nikolas just immediately looks like, eh, this place is depressing.
I feel right at home.
The aforementioned clamor and noise comes from two rather large figures. One of them is a very familiar face, actually. It's the Kingfisher.
Oh.
And beside him is maybe someone you've met at one point or another. A small bottlenose boy named Huff. They're currently engaged in an argument with a person you maybe recognize, but it's hard to tell. A large blonde woman has accosted them and seems to be arguing with them about why they're on the island to begin with. Go home, you weird himbo. There are no easy girls for you to bed on the island. And take your little, I don't know, pet with you. Go. Leave. She gives him a hard shove. Get out. There are no masters here to teach you anything. If you want to know magic, go talk to Tina. She seems to be upset. For you, Huff and Kingfisher, coming to this island was a matter of, well, for you, Kingfisher, it was following what you call the waves, the flow. Follow the flow is kind of your motto. It's how you've successfully survived all these years. It's how you've grown stronger. You just follow the flow and let everything else go to the wayside. Once you ran into the child Huff on the island, the Never Never Land island, you stumbled across a remarkable opportunity. This kid seems to have a power similar to yours, or something like it, something that resonated with you. He has that ability to capitalize on the flow, to take strength from it, from that rippling energy. You, Huff, well, it's a long story of how you ended up here. After Neverland, your friends were taken away, and you were as well, by a group you had never met before, wearing gold and black. At first, it seemed like you might just be getting another soft sell welcoming to just another part of the world, but those people turned out to be friendly and even offered to take care of your friends, to take care of the woman Maddie and everyone that came with you, even to patch up KLP. Once it seemed that your friends were safe, Kingfisher seemed to be pulled away toward adventure, a feeling he could not explain, a sort of wanderlust or something. He knew that fate, the flow, was taking him somewhere far, far away, and he offered you the opportunity to go too. And because of his apparent bravery, KLP decided that maybe it was time for at least one bottlenose boy to take that first step towards being out on their own, being an adult. He's not going to be around forever, and the fight against Michael definitely showed him that much. And so this is, in a way, your rite of passage.
Okay, well, Kingfisher obviously isn't going to be moved too much by being shoved by this normal person, normal girl. And he'll say, one moment more, dear grouchy stranger. I don't expect you to fully understand me, but you mentioned a Tina. Could you at least point us in the direction?
Ja, Tina, she thumbs towards the giant tower. You just need a couple $1,000, and then she will probably, give you all the treatment that you're looking for from an island girl. She's a bit of a whore.
KLP, what does that mean?
Did you mean to say KLP?
Hey, lady, what does that mean? What you be? What's a whore? That sounds like a word. I'm pretty sure KLP says we can't say that word.
It's a lady who will give you hugs and kisses for a nickel, kid.
Why is she so expensive?
You don't have a nickel?
Oh, I believe I can find a nickel.
I mean, if you need money, because I got some, but not a lot, because mostly we just do trades of other stuff. Whatever.
Well, I believe if I simply go talk to her, maybe she'll understand our...
I thought you said you knew these people.
Kingfisher, you don't know any of these people.
I do not, but there are potential friends everywhere.
KLP told me about a stranger danger, and that if I'm ever scared of a stranger, that I'm supposed to deck them and then run away and find KLP.
Well, we won't be taking any more of your time, blonde stranger.
Snyasha.
Nyasha. Then, thank you, well met.
Do you talk like that? She just kind of like narrows her eyes and then kind of scoffs. Fucking.
I will approach Kingfisher. I am also surprised of potential friends on this island.
Oh, friends. What brings you here?
Likely the same reasons as you.
Ah, were you also following the flow?
My life does seem to have a flow to it. I
Yes.
I am.
And one must follow it.
Yasha sort of butts in. What is this? More weirdos? Are you having a convention? Did you all get lost from the Golden Love Resort? High on your drugs?
I turn and say in Doma to her, yes, more weirdos.
She narrows her eyes even further.
I narrow my eyes back.
Ooh. She looks you over. Speak the tongue, but got no son. You're as pale as a fucking bone.
That is considered beauty in some cultures.
Some cultures are not this one. I guess wherever you went, maybe they like that shit. Here, to me, it just looks odd. Who is your friend? Who are you? And why do you speak this language?
Because I drank of the waters. And this is Kingfisher. He is also a ripple user.
I do not recognize you. You drink of the waters, but you have not been here for some time, it seems. And plus, you sound rusty.
I am a lost being.
She snorts roughly through her nostrils. Make sure you and your friends do not cause trouble while you are here. That includes making trouble so that those adorable assholes have yet another excuse to come and go through our things or take some of us away for questioning or whatever. Do we have an understanding, sister?
I will do my best to be slippery, sister.
Good.
Now go bully someone else.
Bully?
Bully.
She pokes a finger right in your chest. Listen here, lost little girl. I run this fucking village. I am no bully. I am boss. Strong woman of this village, of Doma. Not bully.
I sort of lean over the hand to get closer, like with my face. You have grown up quite strong.
I am not afraid of anything that comes out of the sea, not afraid of anything that walks on the land, and I am not to be intimidated, talked down to, or disobeyed. Not on my turf, little sister. So cool your jets. I cool them for you.
I am quite obedient. You need not worry.
Good. She thumbs over towards Blue. That is another one of your weirdos, I assume.
I motion the whole group over. These are all my weirdos.
Eesh. Starting a collection. What did you do? Cast a net or something?
I am not much of a fisher, but I am approving of my collection.
If you are indeed someone who has come from the outside, you could at least make the stupid old man happy by visiting him. He is living somewhere in the north of the outside of the village. Small hut, cannot miss. Kazvi would be happy to see you, and maybe he would shut up about his stupid visions and whatever nonsense. I am Nyasha, as you may have heard. I am head of village.
I thank you for the directions, and then I offer her a hand to shake.
She shakes your hand. It seems reluctant at first, but you can tell when you speak Domon, she kind of reluctantly is embracing you. It's just that her hand is stiff. Very good. Oh, if you need work, I have opportunities, I suppose, but you are likely only passing through. Those clothes you wear look pretty fancy.
I have medical training if anyone in the village needs such thing.
Yes, actually, some of them probably do. Splinters, poisonings, burnings. Some of them have been attacked by wild dogs on the mainland. That sort of thing. Yeah, there's a man whose arm has been crushed, but that was last week, so I don't think you can do much for him. And in general, probably everybody could use a couple of vitamin bags. Any deratted food you have would be appreciated, and welcome to Doma.
Send them to the hut if I can. The worst of them to the hut, and I will see what I can do.
Yeah. She points to you, Kingfisher, and Huff, and starts speaking again in, well, accented English. As for you two, you did not understand this, but stay out of trouble. If you get trouble, you get trouble from Nyasha only. Understand? No monkey business. No getting drunk and crashing speedboats and then trying to blame a local or something. None of that horse shit. And do not try to sell drugs here, or I will break your legs.
Okay, so don't act like a monkey, do not engage in drug selling, and do not drink alcohol. Got it.
Your friend there, he points at Huff. He looks like he is holding. What are you holding, little one? She kind of marches over and starts grabbing at you, Huff.
I was literally about to say the what about candy. But yeah, he initially holds his hands out. And it's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can tell you are holding contraband. Where is it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where do you keep your candy?
I mean, I assume Huff has like clothes and stuff, like, you know, the donation stuff or whatever. I guess the bottlenose boys may take or steal or find. So I assume he's wearing like, you know, just weird secondhand clothes that maybe don't fit. They probably don't fit him now, but they probably fit him if he like puffs himself up. So they're real big on him and baggy, and he can also like hide his candy amongst the clothes there. Yeah, and he probably has a little backpack.
What is this? Aha! After she's shaken you enough, a piece of candy falls out. Maroon 5 gum.
He just kind of stares at it and just goes, I mean, I guess that must have been in my backpack from school. It's not, it doesn't, and he just kind of, it doesn't have a rat in it. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool, but it's not like rad. You can eat it.
She sniffs it. I'll be confiscating this for evidence. If there is any more you would like to share, please tell me now before you get in trouble, little boy.
He probably he probably shoots an eye between like Icepeake, who he has sold illicit candy to, and Kingfisher, because he's his guardian here. He doesn't know exactly if he needs to give up the candy or not.
Oh, we are stealing kids' candy now, are we?
Oh, it's just candy. That's what
Yeah.
they say. I have seen many different smuggling operations. Candy is one of the easiest ones. We'll see just how much candy this is. She takes out one of the sticks of Maroon 5 gum and then slowly starts putting it into her own mouth. And chews it. She kind of like at first makes like a sour face and then kind of comes around. Yeah, it's just gum. She throws the pack back to you, Huff.
He'll take it and put it back.
When she starts talking again, you notice her teeth are stained red.
He will not mention it.
Well, it's just candy, little boy. You can have candy. Just, it's okay. I have to be extra careful. You understand?
Yeah, no, that you're, yes, ma'am.
You have to be careful, though. The dentistry is not easy to find. It took me a long time to get my teeth bleached, you know. I had to wait in line. Now, beautiful pearly whites. She smiles, revealing her very red teeth.
Huff will just kind of stare at, just like he's staring like at her, but he's definitely looking at her teeth, not her. Like he's not making eye contact. And then he just kind of quickly, his eyes quickly shoot between the other adults that are there.
Icepeake has a very wide smile and says, "Yes, very alluring color for me personally."
Ugh.
I had no concern over my child friend having any sort of contraband that would be a problem here. But it seems that you are satisfied?
Yeah. Well, I can't give you too much trouble. Not right now. I'm busy. But again, if I see you doing anything I don't like, I might just break your legs or something. Both of them.
Why do you feel the need to threaten? We are potential friends, after all.
Friends. Yeah, right. She just kind of laughs. She starts actually, a tear is forming at the edge corner of her eyes as she wipes away. I have to go talk to some people. Your friends have a good one until I see you again. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Friends.
Before you go, would you like a hug? And he'll open his arms.
No, I am good. Do you just give hugs to strangers where you are from?
If they are so hurt that they will question the innocence of a child, why, of course.
You are a very weird man. No, I do not want hug.
Very well. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise, I suppose. She just kind of just walks away chewing her gum. She stops for a moment to look at Nikolas. And you? Are you holding candy as well, little boy? Nikolas hands over a baggie of white powder. She takes it. What is this? Is this like a sour candy powder or something? Nikolas just shrugs. It's Coke. I was holding it.
Nikolas, please.
She kind of starts to laugh at first. His baby says he has Coke. She opens the baggie and then like peers into it and then dabs her finger into it and then gives it a small lick. And then she starts talking in Domon to a few of the men around. You guys don't understand it, but Icepeake does. This kid has drugs. Go take him and search him. They just immediately grab Nikolas and cart him off. Whoa, wait a second. It wasn't even mine.
Where the hell did he get that?
No, Icepeake is just pinching the bridge of her nose. Yes, he is a bad child.
I told you, they try to smuggle it in sometimes. They use the kids for it. It's a fucked up world. Okay, everybody get back to work. What do you mean my teeth are red? What? She just rushes off.
Do I? Oh. I will have to retrieve him later. Actually, it's best I retrieve him soon before he explodes police station.
Once Nyasha has departed, probably to go and see if she can unstain her teeth, the five of you are now gathered together. Joni looks nonplussed to be there, of course, but she does lift her glasses to just stare at Kingfisher.
Ah, Dr. Police Officer. You seem to know the language here. Would you be able to help us find... Well, introduce us to someone?
The woman Nyasha has given me a place to go, I believe a village elder, of which may answer your questions of... I believe you said you are looking for a ripple user? At least that is what I overheard.
Nyasha was kind enough to recommend a Tina, of whom I'd like to speak with. But yes, a village elder would definitely be worth a conversation with.
Yeah, I mean, KLP says I gotta be the new guy if he's not around, so he told me to learn how to beat Kingfisher by learning all of his tricks. So I thought it was pretty cool because we could both, like, we swim really fast, and so we got here.
It is good to see you both safe. And you must swim very fast indeed.
Huff kind of like puffs himself up a little bit to look a little bigger, and he goes, "I mean, I'm gonna be the next guy after KLP, so I gotta be the fastest, the bestest one. So that's why I'm here."
Icepeake just stares at the little fish man like he's the cutest thing she's ever seen, and then like turns her head away. Yes, you will be very good, the guy.
Of course, you are looking at two natural swimmers.
He's just grinning.
I will lead you to Hut, and then I must go find where they have incarcerated my small child.
Kingfisher will introduce himself to Joni, though, gesturing with a bow.
Joni just kind of like laughs a little and fans herself. Oh my.
Hi, my name's Huff. If you need any candy, you can ask me and I can find it. That's kind of why KLP was like, you gotta be the next man after me. So that's why I'm here, so that I can learn how to be real strong, stronger than Kingfisher, because Kingfisher is KLP's nemesis enemy, and they're gonna fight forever until I'm the guy, and then I'm gonna beat him because I'm here to learn how to be better than him.
Then he holds out a hand, and it's got some sort of candy on it. It's something.
Oh, Icepeake does lean into Huff and asks, "Do you have my usual?"
Yeah, I mean, it's the same price as usual. If anything, isn't this where it's from? So why don't we just get some here? I was gonna ask, but
They do not. It's been a while since I've been on the island. You will have to ask about.
okay.
What is the usual price?
Did I ask?
I mean, I feel like if anything, you like, like how it's like some like you have little police badge stickers or shit like that, like for kids. Like I feel like you just trade Huff in that. Like he probably asked for money one time and you almost gave it to him and then gave him something else instead. Because like the idea that if I pay this kid once, I'm gonna pay him every time. So you've just found a way to pay him in anything but money.
Pull out a bunch of like police badge stickers and
Yeah, just stuff like that.
no, yeah,
But,
I'm
like,
trying to train him that right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You do that, and he actually looks for Nasasha again, like over your shoulder, like past your like legs and stuff like that, like looking around, and then very quickly snatches the sticker from you, and you can see he like he tucks it in like under the collar of his shirt, like he doesn't wear it on like the front of him. He tucks it in underneath, and then hands you a candy bar.
Good. Now she takes it and puts it inside of her own coat pocket, and looks kind of relieved. She probably hasn't eaten in a bit. I thank you. Please.
Yeah.
This way.
As they're walking, Kingfisher will say, "Young maiden, I believe I've seen you around at the station. Are you also a police officer?"
Joni, she's just walking with your group, and she kicks a rock and starts to strut a little. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a girl detective, I solve crimes here and there, and then also the police come to me when they need consultation, and general advice. I've solved quite a few cases with my group. It's pretty good work.
Oh,
We watched a movie about it, a lady girl detective who's a kid.
Oh, really? What was it called?
I don't remember, but she seemed pretty cool. How come you don't have a backpack? Do you have a backpack that has like a bunch of gadgets in it? She has a bunch of gadgets.
No, I don't. I don't have a bunch of gadgets on me.
Huff immediately seems like more disinterested. Just there's a loss of like mental. Okay.
she relies on her wits and cleverness, clearly.
I mean, that's cool, but some of the gadgets were really cool, like a belt that had like a grappling hook in it, so you could climb buildings.
The longer you talk, give me what kind of role do you have? Let me see. Go ahead and give me a mathematics roll. Oh, it's a good roll. You can tell that the longer you talk, the more intense Joni's gaze is getting at you. Like, but not in a good way. It seems like something like a killer instinct may be rising within her.
But anyway, you should think about getting a backpack that has lots of cool gadgets.
There will be no need. She is quite powerful on her own.
He just kind of gives like a nod, like he does. If anything, he opens his backpack up again and pulls out the broken tablet from Neverland and just starts playing a game on it. And he's like, "Do you want to play a game?" He goes, "I've only got one because then Michael broke it, but then it got fixed."
Wait, you met the crown?
I mean, he's just a guy that had the island in KLP, and KLP's friend that he was protecting or whatever. But no, we took care of him. Like, it's all good. There were lots of clouds, and there were some hares and worms, and there were some nice kids, but they aren't here anymore, I don't think, or maybe they're still on the island. I don't know, because the people in the coats took us, and they were really nice, but they told us they were gonna have to protect us, but we just had to not help. But then Kingfisher was like, "Hey, I gotta go be a strong guy," and KLP told me that I gotta be the next guy, so that I gotta learn how to strong is Kingfisher. So now I'm here.
Very interesting story. She will take his hand and sort of lead him in front so that Kingfisher and Joni can talk. Let him tell her about Michael.
Yeah, you get the most long-winded rendition of the sessions.
It's okay. She wants to know.
Entirely, yeah, from his perspective. And yeah, there is a whole long big thing about like having the tablet and not being able to have games, and then Michael broke it and how that wasn't fair. It's just a whole thing about the tablet.
Yes, very rude.
Everything that happened once they got the map is almost glossed over entirely for I tried so hard to get games and no one would let me have them. Like, that's the real injustice. Not that we were on a murder island.
Of course. None of the murderous clowns are the word.
Walking to the location of the hut would probably take a second. Getting transportation might be easier. There's a few, looks like people in various trucks, and there's like small cars they brought over to the island. So somebody can probably give you a lift if you want.
Is it that far away? Okay.
Yeah, it's far-ish.
I would ask Blue. Blue, could you perhaps procure us a ride?
Oh, certainly. Sorry, you said there were...
Yeah, there's a few people that are just like, you see there's a few cars and trucks scattered about the Evanefi village. One in particular looks like they may not be busy. It's just a guy unloading a few things from the back of a truck. You can see him actually offer someone saying like, "Hey, you need the ride?" No? Okay. All right, I am going to head off to Cosby's to drop off the food. I'm going, in case anyone else wants to see the old timer. If not, yeah, he's probably used to being alone.
I guess Blue will hail him in Domon, whatever.
He adjusts his flat cap.
Hey, I heard you were offering a ride.
Oh, yes. Where are you going?
We just need to get into town.
Town is here. Oh, do you mean the resort? I can take you there too. Are you working? Dropping off? Picking up? Visiting somebody? Are you here to see Star? He points to himself.
Oh wait,
I mean, you guys are at the village. It's the guy Crosby's house is a little bit away. Say it's like a 30-40 minute walk. Driving there would be faster.
we were trying to get to Cosby. Yeah, okay.
At Crosby, yeah.
I heard you say you were going to Crosby.
Oh, I am heading to go see Crosby to drop off medicine and some food, and if I do not bring him food, he probably starve. You speak the Domon. You drink of the waters, but you have very rough accent.
It was long ago. Yes.
Now you are a big, strong adult, and very rich and famous.
I wouldn't say I was rich or famous.
Oh? Are you sure? Then how come I have your autograph? And he pulls out a sheet of paper that just has a smiley face on it and then some scribbles beneath the smiley face.
How did you get that? I haven't been here in years.
I bid online to pay all my money for 1 month's work just for one autograph. He waves it around. He folds it up carefully and then places it in his wallet. I gid.
Blue's like grinning, kind of with remembrance.
You want to go see Crosby, it's no problem. He'll be happy to see that there is someone who from the old days. Someone who is maybe returning. Someone who is probably not like, the Russian. The youth, they all go over there and they change their names. And they change their face, their hair. They change everything. But I don't remember anyone looking like you. He kind of like gives you a looking over and adjusts his cap. You can hear the small mechanisms within his eye plate kind of like turning and whirring a little. Now that you're close up enough to him, he has the same sort of thick dermal implants as some of the workers you saw when you landed in Vladivostok. They look even older and more, how do I say this, self-maintained, more patchwork.
Well, how much room do you got?
Enough for probably 5 or 6 people. 1 lamb, goat, some kind of 50 fish, a couple crates of shrimp. I have enough room for 1 family. How many people are you taking to see this old man?
It's 5, including me.
Oh, 5 visitors. Wow. Yeah, I have enough room. Come on, everybody get in here. No charge. Just welcome to the Isle of Doma special for a returning home gift presentation number 1. tourist attraction. The stall truck ride. He kind of he just jumps into the driver's side of his very beat up truck. Jump into the back if you can't fit in the front. Just hold on to the sides when we go over something rocky. You'll be fine. There are no seatbelts.
Well met, stranger. We appreciate it.
Good. It's good to be appreciated.
Kingfisher's gonna go in last.
Yeah, Huff will initially try and get into the front.
I wish old Bedalia would appreciate me. Then she would say yes next time I ask her to marry me. Ah! He starts up the truck with, like, you can hear the engine practically ready to fall apart before it actually turns over. There we go. Oof. Yeah, enough fuel to get us there and back. Easy.
What is marriage?
Curse. A woman visits you in the night and says, "You will marry me." And then you will get strange nightmares and visitations. Next thing you know, they put a manacle on you and they say, "You are my slave forever." It is quite nice.
Oh no. But why would you approach her then?
Yeah, it beats loneliness. The truck begins to pull away from Evanifi village. As he's driving, occasionally... Who's sitting in the front with stalls?
I feel like Huff is. Or at least he wanted to. He may have been delegated to the back.
Okay, Huff. Roll a... What do you got? Roll a stabby spines. That result is a 4 because of his stunt. As he's driving, occasionally he'll look over at you, Huff, and just kind of, "Hey, little guy," and then poke you sort of near where one of your spines might be. "You are like a little shrimp."
He would probably be a little off put by that. Just go, "I'm actually a puffer fish, so Oh, I mean, I guess this kind of like a shrimp. They're both fish."
No. I mean in size. Did you know the word shrimp actually predates naming the crustacean, the small animal fish, the small fish? Shrimp meant someone small before. Did you know that?
No, what did they call shrimp before they were shrimp?
I don't know. What do you... He kind of like is giving pause. What did they call shrimp before they called them shrimp?
Maybe the shrimp just were, without labels.
No, but I mean, I knew my name before I was told I knew my name. Like, you know who you are. Like, they had to know.
You already know who you are, without a name.
I know. I have a shrimp friend back home. I'll just ask him.
Good, ask him. It's good to see a kid here. There are not too many, to be honest. There's one or two. But you are an actual child. You are born of sea. One of the children of the wave. It's good to see that too.
When he calls him a kid, Huff like kind of puffs himself up to like be a little bit bigger in size. He just goes, "I'm not a little kid anymore. KLP sent me here so I could be the next man for the Bottlenose Boys. So I gotta be real tough."
Oh,
So I am just a foolish old man who does not see that there is a big, strong adult sitting here next to me, not a little boy.
Huff will actually like give a big grin when he says that, and like some air seeps out, so he does start to like slowly deflate. And he's like, "Yeah, of course. So that's why I've been saying this whole time to everybody, but not everybody's always listening."
Yeah, I understand. I'll let you in on a little secret. I am actually kid myself. I put on fake beard, I wear stilts, I bad suits, and I try to talk like little, like adults. But in reality, my voice sounded like this. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, Huff is probably laughing. I've never really thought about what Huff's laugh sounds like, but it's probably very breathy. Like he's just a lot of deep breaths in and out, and he actually kind of swells up and down in size as he laughs.
The small.
Fish is also laughing. You had me fooled as well.
It's not trick. I guess it is. The small hut that was mentioned as being the home of one Crosby is within view. Again, 30-minute walk, so it wasn't the super farthest, but you can see that it's very shoddy, and I mean, it is basically, it looks like the type of place that you might see in like a documentary or something about people living way out on the fringes. It has a small generator outside. It has an outhouse. It has some little modern conveniences and comforts, but it is extremely humble. It looks like this. There we go. Outside of the hut, as Stalls pulls up, there is there are two figures. No, there are actually more than two figures. There are four figures. It's just that three of them look somewhat similar. There is an old man with a long white beard sitting patiently and listening to the complaints of three men in suits with matching haircuts. This first man just like shakes a pile of papers at Crosby. We try to tell you, profit needs to be better if you want to justify where you are on the island. You're supposed to be the elder. They'll listen to you. That means we have to up the rent, and you have to be the one to break the news to them. It's not really personal. It's just business. Dad, you explain it to him. The second man takes the pile of papers from the first man and then shakes it. We are trying to be reasonable, Crosby. We know that it's not easy for you Domons to try to hold on to your old ways, pay the rent, that sort of thing. But progress is progress, old man. You don't need to be so stubborn about things. Besides, you know that the ripple, so we have heard. Why not apply it at the Golden Love Resort for massage therapy or some kind of magic trick? People would get a big kick out of it, seeing an old man do something like that. Tina only gets so much mileage when they're not drinking. You could make a lot of money, you know. Maybe train an apprentice? Make it a whole act. Just picture it. The green that would roll in. Now, he's not listening to me. Dad, you explain it. The third figure shakily takes the pile of papers and then kind of starts slapping them as he's talking to Crosby. You're lucky we didn't gut you where you stand, Crosby. If it were up to me, you wouldn't have survived. Now you're just being impudent.
Just raise the rent on them and no more questions. And no more of this chanting. It keeps people up at night when they hear you chanting in the woods and the hills. They think there's a ghost. That's why they come here, to get away from that. You're just making people upset with your witchcraft and shaman business. Give it a rest.
Crosby is sitting and he's standing and listening to them before he finally does sit down and fold his leg.
I have not very much need for money, and rent. It will probably work itself out. You, gentlemen, are here to speak of other things. You are nervous. Something is happening. And now you want to see if Crosby is involved. But the dream has not led me to anything involving any of you. So I think you'll be fine. Tina couldn't read your fortune, so you thought you'd bully it out of me, sweat me a little to get me to talk. There is no reason to sweat for me. Crosby is Crosby, as ever Crosby shall be.
He plucks a blade of grass from the ground near himself and then releases it to let it blow away in the wind.
If there's nothing else, perhaps you'd like to sit and have tea with me. BG, all of you. Barry, Mari, and Robbie of the adorable group.
The three men look at one another and then just start going over the papers again, shouting amongst themselves, before Stalls pulls his hat, gets out of the truck, and rushes over.
Mr. BG, Mr. BG, and Mr. BG! How happy I am to see you here. I need to talk to you about supplies.
Please, please. He tries to lead them away from Crosby. You can see that they're protesting a little, but Stalls is bigger than them. Leaving you to talk to Crosby if you'd like. Stalls will just kind of keep the BGs busy. And yes, they are the BGs.
Does Crosby give off any sort of energy or anything?
Give me a head scratch roll. Oh, it's a good one. With your roll of 3, Crosby looks like an old man to the eye, but to the rippling heart, he feels like an enormous wave that has not crashed yet. He darkens the rest of the ocean with his presence, and all the while the water, the fish, even the wind are afraid of when he will fall, yet he stays suspended in air as if frozen. His presence is, at times, suffocating or dreadful. It's oppressive. But to you, with your eyes, to see him, he is just a tired old man.
Well, Kingfisher's gonna wait for those people to not be there. It looks like he's done with his business with that. And then he'll, immediately get in front of him and, with his, spear in front of him, bow. I believe I was meant to meet you.
Ah, I believe you are right. Follower of flow. It has led you here to Doma. You are not a Doman. You do not speak like a Doman. But I think you will be a Doman in time. You are here to learn.
Kingfisher's just gonna bow further will have me.
The next thing you are going to say is how predictable could I possibly be?
And then he points at you.
Kingfisher's gonna look up.
There is a great impulse within you. Something strong.
How predictable. How did you know?
He strokes his beard.
A technique of intuition. Some learn it naturally, others learn it through seeing the future, reading the waves. In time, you may learn this as well. And your little friend there.
He motions towards Huff.
Yeah, Kingfisher's gonna drag him over closer.
I was gonna say, yeah. Once like their introductions seem done, Huff will just go, "Hi, my name's Huff. I'm one of the Bottlenose boys, and KLP told me to come here and learn from Kingfisher and whoever he learns from, so that I could be the next guy and beat Kingfisher because KLP and Kingfisher are the toughest guys on all Guam, and they can't beat each other."
Oh, just like the old days. This stirs fire in Crosby's heart. Competition. Wave crashes against wave. Be careful, though. Those that are caught in the force, the riptides, they can be crushed and drowned if you are not careful.
He strokes his beard. But that is not as important as this. And then he produces from his coat pocket one long blue translucent strip of something.
This is the rarest candy in the world.
Because they are fish people and can kind of change themselves. I know he doesn't really have a molecular rating, but Huff's eyes are bigger than they've probably ever been and should be on a human face. Like, he is mostly fish, but like, it is insane how big his eyes just get. What is it?
This candy was made by a Domon long ago. He channeled lightning through one hand and held sugar in the other to prove the nature of glass and sugar as well. He wanted to amuse someone as well as dress them down on the theories of the ripple, and so produced this one candy, the glass of God.
Like, yeah, like I feel like Huff is like a full-on like cartoon character. Like, you could see like his gulp like move down his neck and everything. What do you do? How do you do that?
Channel energy through yourself, you mean? Only one man could, and he has retired. Unfortunately, the secret will die with him.
No, but that's not fair because I want that. I want to be able. What if somebody wants that?
To make this one-time rare candy whose flavor not even I know?
Yeah.
What do you have to trade?
Yeah, full, like, the backpack comes out and like it looks like a little kid backpack, but then like once he like unzips it, like there's pouches everywhere inside there. Like, there's all these little like weird things. Like, it's like one of those like prepper backpacks that like folds out. Like, it is infinitely more complex on the inside as he just starts unloading everything out. And he's just like, I mean, I got some of these you could take a look at. I got this. I don't even know what this is, but somebody gave it to me because I asked. And then there was also, and he's just explaining all of the candy in only the way a kid could, and is just going through them all.
As he's talking, he's nodding. Yes, yes. And then you notice a seagull just swoop by, grab the glass candy, and fly off. While Crosby doesn't even seem to have noticed that it happened, he's still just like nodding along.
Can I make an attempt to intercept that?
Sure, go for it.
Is surge appropriate?
Sure. The seagull, as you're jumping to go and grab at it, seems to dive and twist away from you. Very, very acrobatically in the air. And then depart with the candy in tow. Once you go to dive, Crosby turns and looks at his empty hand. Oh dear.
Can I also, because like seeing that happen, probably like the scream that comes out of Huff, I feel like maybe only the other merman can hear, because it is so shrill and high. Because I've also had to take things away from my kids, and it's like setting off a sound, like pulling like a sound grenade. It's bad. Especially if they don't want that thing gone. So him seeing the pinnacle, the mountaintop, and then watching it disappear because of a seagull, like these things that like bully his friends sometimes. Like absolutely not having it.
Crosby, he just holds up a hand. No need to worry. You only need to retrieve the gull before it eats the candy. Simple. If you can find it, you may have it as a sort of reward. You only need to retrieve the gull, and it will be yours. Simple.
Ah, the first lesson.
Ha! Joke's on you, because sometimes seagulls show up and try to pick on me and my friends, so I know exactly how to get him.
And he just goes running off. As fast as his little legs will carry him, he's following that bird.
So I'm assuming Kingfisher would probably chase too for the gull.
Dude, wouldn't Kingfisher just be able to like do some clown ass athletic shit before the seagull gets way up too high?
If this were a normal seagull, yes. But it's not a normal seagull. It is noticeably faster and more agile than the regular bird, enough to actually challenge you.
Okay. Well, Kingfisher's gonna get up, like, slowly with his spear, kind of like, crack his neck, and cockily hoist the spear on his shoulder and say, "I will return shortly." And yeah, go with Huff.
Yeah, I was gonna say Huff's already running, and he just goes, "Leave him alone! He's my bird." Just
once those two run off, you guys notice two things. First is Joni disappeared without saying anything.
Oh no.
And now you're just kind of there with Crosby, who is very peacefully sitting down and seems to have a kettle with him and two cups. He pours tea into his cup in front of himself and then into the other two cups, and then motions in the grass in front of himself. Have a seat. He says specifically to you, Blue and Icepeake.
Icepeake is nervously looking around because Joni is missing.
You are worried about your friend.
I have a duty to keep.
She will be fine. Please, be at ease for one moment in your life.
She sits, though, has difficulty being at ease.
Blue will sit too.
I can tell by the way that you stood there and breathed that you two live very tense existences, always worried, nervous. When do you find any ease at all in a world like this?
I find ways to keep my mind occupied.
How does one stay at ease? You seem to be at ease, and I know it's not easy here.
I find comfort in the knowledge of the other side, spirit life beyond this one. Soon I will be going there myself. Stalls has brought doctors here, but they do not know what is wrong. So they say they cannot simply tell me that I am dying. That would be beyond their abilities, their medicine and science. They would not have any idea how to solve such a thing. But to accept it as a mere fact, that is the only way one can find peace in this world or any other. You are not here for simple seagulls, nor are you tourists for the golden love. You are here for something else. But tell me, in your own words, what is that something else?
How far away are the Dorobo people?
Far enough away.
Okay. I suppose we come to accept death in our own ways.
Have you?
If it comes to that.
I would say that you have not accepted death. And that is why you are here. The others, they cannot see it in the same way that I can. But I see clearly. The fur of the red wolf is on your clothes and in your hair, and in time will grow from your skin if you are not careful. And it is not merely a matter of hatred or evil, not simply a matter of seeking revenge or violence, but that which seeks to exercise the will, which seeks to impose upon the world. A hand that wants to turn the waves into another direction, to change the flow. You were pushed away from where you wanted to be by that flow. He pauses for a moment, and that same flow took away that life you clung to. And you cannot let go of such a death as that. He sips his tea.
No more than you wish to let go of this village.
Fair point. I will have no choice in the matter soon enough. The wind will come and take my ghost across the sea as it does for everyone. And those you loved will see me there. What can I say to you to dissuade you from this task that you have undertaken, I wonder? No one returns to this island with such violence unless they mean to exercise it.
How can it be that they were the ones who were going with Flo?
Let me tell you a story. Long ago, he points to the sky. There was a wise man with a body of metal and a brain like a computer. He spoke to the cosmos, lived amongst the stars. He too met the flow. His beloved followers went along the waters towards distant lands and territories not yet seen. But when at last he had seen the flow for himself, that wise man of metal was utterly corrupted, tainted, turned into something dark. He, like you, questioned that flow, the purpose of it, the meaning. Why would there ever be such a world with such casual cruelty as this one? And how could that ever be the way of things? Wise as he was, he could not accept this thing. And so he roams this world today like a hungry ghost, looking for answers. Do you wish to be a ghost like him?
Am I not already?
What did you say?
Am I not already?
Not yet, but could be soon. I do not know the details of your task and duty. You probably wouldn't understand if you told me. But I know revenge when I see it. It is a demon I have wrestled with myself. I will urge you one last time. Go home to the place where you now rest your heads, for it is not the Isle of Doma, but a land far from here. Go back to that place and do good deeds. Live good lives. Do not darken your heart with what this island has to offer.
I just don't know how to accept that.
If we turn it away now, many of our friends will be more doomed than before. This island will be.
This island was doomed the moment we set foot on here. All those many thousands years ago. Every foot that walked these sands was destined to be buried beneath them or washed out to sea and water. Become porous in the home of small fish. There is no escaping that consequence. That is life. If they die, then it is so. Drink your tea. He motions towards the tea.
I take up the tea and I pour it in my mouth.
It's cold now.
It's okay.
Now cold, it is quite bitter. Unpleasant to the to taste, actually.
Ooh. Well, 1,000 little lampreys in my mouth start to drink it nonetheless.
Because you didn't drink the tea when it was poured and offered to you, it has now soured. Should I pour you another?
Is my cup empty?
I don't know. Did you empty it?
I try. Sure. I'm quite used to bitter tastes by now, but she'll push her cup forward nonetheless.
He pours you another cup of it.
I drink it immediately this time.
Oh, now it is too salty.
Ooh.
Because you rushed to drink the tea, it is unpleasant yet again. Shall I pour you a third cup?
Perhaps I shall just wait till this one cools.
It is important to know timing is often everything. So when you finally do get the opportunity to advance whatever it is that drives you, remember, do not rush and do not wait. Instead, act at the right time, and you may yet see the result you wish for.
How will I be able to identify such timing?
That is not the question, dum-dum.
Wince.
The question is, how will you know when the opportunity is ready for you? How do you know when the wave will accept you, when the flow means to move you?
I am from deep and still waters. It is difficult for me to tell.
I see something familiar in the both of you then. I remember long ago children from the depths were found on the shore. When I was yet younger and had but one beard braid. You maybe were one, and you the other. Now you have come back. Is this true?
Yes, this was. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
this was my home when I first came up.
Something in the way that you hesitate tells me that you have not yet acknowledged what it meant to lose such a place to yourselves or to others. That sadness will continue to grow until you finally accept it. Accept death. Not dying, but death. Until that time comes, you are right that you will be as a ghost, wandering this world, hungry for something.
If I am honest, I am always hungry.
Crosby nods his head lightly, and his eyes are closed.
Very good.
Wait, what did Icepeake say?
Always hungry.
Ah,
You must go through the maze, past the giant's shadow, And then you will find the shop. 5 scoops. Pistachio. Bring them to me.
He has definitely fallen asleep sitting up.
So he tasked us to go to the village and get pistachios, or
It sounded like just babble.
okay?
Was
Yeah.
starting to dream as he was falling asleep.
Yeah. To further cement the point, you actually see a very tiny, almost jewel-like crab of bright colors climbing over his shoulder and then on top of his head. It begins to kind of peck at his head, like just pick at it with its claws, going through his hair for nibbly bits.
Icepeake will finally turn toward Blue and look at her and sip on her hopefully not cold, not salty tea. So you are from this island? I have figured, but I do not recognize you.
Yes, I had suspicions about you since a little while ago, but I believed everyone I knew was dead.
Such belief was same for me. I barely managed to slither to the sea. Everyone else seemed dead, or she just sort of trails off.
It was madness. I had no idea. Could it possibly be that you're Alexander?
That was my name at one point, although I rarely use it now.
Blue almost doesn't know what to say.
Do you still wish to be called Blue?
Well, you can call me Masha sometimes.
Was that her old name, or?
Yeah.
I drop my tea all over my lap and just sort of stare at her.
Blue, like, hesitantly tries to take your hand.
She lets you, but she's just staring at you like you are a ghost.
I should have said something sooner.
I thought you were dead.
What did she say?
I thought you were dead.
I thought you were too.
She reaches out to sort of like touch your face to make sure you're real. You know me, I can scorn out of anything.
What did she say?
Yeah, it's okay, I'm half cried. You know me, I can squirm out of anything.
I'm so glad that you can. How'd you end up on Guam?
I just swam. I suppose finally went with the flow.
That's what I don't understand. How is it not the flow that has brought us back here?
I thought I would be getting revenge for you.
Yes, but for the rest of our family. too.
Humans are so fragile. How did you even... Where have you been?
Well, I made my way to Guam too, and that's why I entered in the police force to try to do what I could to find out what happened here and a way back.
My bright little light, your hair is so dark.
Yeah, well, I felt I should be in hiding. And you're not a little boy anymore.
No, I have also thought I should be in hiding. Though I am enjoying the... she just sort of makes a form with her hands to show, like, curves.
Well, yes, you're quite pretty.
Oh, I have not heard that much either.
Oh, that's silly.
Well, I have been hiding that I am... her hand just sort of falls apart into lampreys. I have been hiding that less than I used to.
Yes. I wonder if your old spot is still around here somewhere.
I'm sure they could not tear down the building. Her hand reforms, but she just basically goes back to, like, touching your face again. I can't believe I did not see it, and I'm supposed to be smart.
Well, I guess I got pretty good at disguises.
And your personality has changed quite a bit.
I was going to say so is yours. You've grown to be so nurturing and you see light and everything. I don't know how.
Well, I have stopped seeing people as simply meals since, well, the village was so kind to me.
I could learn some things from you.
I simply just wish to see you smile again.
It was nice seeing our old friend Stalls riding in his truck. I did smile again. And now that you're my brother, my sister...
You may call me either. I am not...
I'll be smiling some more.
Oh, heavens. Now I have another to protect here. Speaking of... Oh, before I forget, she will hug you.
Yeah.
Like, almost squeezing you almost to death. She's gonna kill you now that she found you.
Blue will squeeze back. And she's crying a little bit.
Icepeake would cry if she could.
As the two of you embrace and remember what it is that you may have lost and now what you have found, elsewhere in the hills on the coast, somewhat far away, there is something else happening. Huff is currently dangling off of a cliff, and Kingfisher is very beat up and being attacked by a crowd of seagulls. As a man with a very strange bird hat is crouched, apparently in victory, gloating over the two of them.
If you cannot defeat these gulls, you cannot survive this world. I, Gullmaster, will defeat you once and for all. Hail to Domon strength! You outsiders are nothing!
That is where we're going to put our commercial break. Just as Huff, you accidentally let go of the cliff, and Kingfisher.
I was gonna say if it was a branch, this is when we see it
Oh yeah,
snap, and there's
yeah.
the split-second decision of what do I do, and then yeah, commercial.
Beneath you is a cloud of hungry gulls.
Oh, jeez.
But that is where we'll take a break. That's what your adventure of chasing a gull led you to the Gull Master.
Great.
So that's what happened with you.
A very real thing that we have to do now.
Got to deal with that Gull Master.
Yeah, we got to get that candy.
Should have just burned all the fate points to get it the first time.
I mean, I guess.
Take a quick 5 to 10, and then we will return with the results of whether or not Kingfisher and his squire Huff will survive the Gull Master. Probably not. They're probably dead.
Fury.
Take your break, though.
Okay, be right back.
Okay. Welcome back.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Welcome back. The day goes on, and eventually night begins to fall as you make your way back to Evanifi village. Yes, the power of time stop. Joni is there at Evanifi, which is likely one of the reasons you've returned. She is wearing very strange flowery blue and red headdress that Icepeake and Blue would recognize as someone who's been on a journey to talk to ghosts. This is something usually people have to trip hard to do. And then the night after, you wear this ceremonial headdress and robe and sit by the fire, which is where she currently is. She looks very out of it, but a few of the old people are taking care of her, making sure she stays hydrated as she just like sits and stares at a fire. Huff and Kingfisher are also there, wearing decorative seagull hats and feathery capes. And the Gallmaster is bringing them food and trying to teach them about the importance of gulls and why they have to respect. Yeah, Huff has an eye patch. Great. Yeah. And noticeably, there are what look like small little festive lights being strung up, and the smells of familiar dishes fill the air. For Blue and Icepeake, you guys recognize the some of the aromas from the dishes that are being made. The various salted fish, some pickled goods, the list written down. Where is it? The salt cane, the very bitter roots that could be harvested on the island. Some of the very unique fish that they like to eat. Um, all of it is extremely nostalgic. Celebration like this likely isn't one that you've experienced for God knows how long. Maybe, well, since you left, really. It's all been forgotten, maybe even buried. But now it's here, like almost like it was. I mean, the people look older, they do look tired, but You even notice like Stalls is wearing a little bit more colorful of an outfit instead of the worker's jumpsuit that he had. It's a more patchwork ensemble, more familiar with the or more similar to the clown look that he might have had when you knew him when you were children, entertaining both the young and the old with various sleight of hand tricks and pratfalls. Uh, this woman, Yasha, is loosening up a little, enjoying some of the small music that's being played here and there on these very odd instruments for you outsiders. These people are playing stringed, very long string instruments that look like zithers, but the notes they produce sound like electric guitar notes. So it almost sounds like somebody doing a little jam session. There's no amp hooked up to them or anything. One of them will probably even try to teach you, Kingfisher, how to play this instrument. It's called a zithe.
Okay.
And it's a very, very the strings are very sharp and strong and well strung. Like they're very durable and in place. For Icepeake and Blue, this is it's a unique instrument. There's really not much like it except for just the electric guitar, but even that has like a certain distortion to the sound that the zithe does not, since there is no electricity, only the power of ripple being cast against metal strings in a very specific cut of wood with a hollow that must be properly proportioned to allow sound to billow and bellow out of it just in these big waves of music.
That sounds awesome.
The nighttime celebrations seem a little out of place, even because when you arrived here at Efanifi Village, everyone was really downtrodden, and they seemed pretty beat up, chewed out. They were just not in a great place. But there has been word, and you would hear it. Blue, give me an investigate roll. The 2. You can tell people are talking about you and about Icepeake. And specifically, everybody seems very excited that 2 young Domons have returned. And there's a small reunion. And you can also hear some of them whispering to one another. Do you think my Reggie will return? He hasn't been seen for so long. And a reply from another older Doman. Well, if they come back, then Virgil probably will come back. The waves come in and they go out, and sometimes they come back again. The older woman just kind of dabs her face with a handkerchief and nods. And there's a feeling amongst many of the elders similar to this. They occasionally do glance over at the 2 of you and smile, but they don't want to be awkward about it. But they're really trying. Their attempt at not being awkward makes some of them a little bit more awkward, if not a lot more awkward in some cases. Everyone seems very happy. There's some melancholy, but they all seem very happy to have the both of you here. How they would have heard or found out is actually not difficult to reason out, because all of them are saying Crosby told me. So apparently, while he was quote unquote sleeping, he may have overheard some things. The man himself is nowhere to be found.
Well, Icepeake is extremely jovial now and says, Stall looks amazing.
Oh, there we go. Well, Islander.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Stahl laughs if you tell him that do you tell him personally?
Yes. I even like pat him on the back like too hard and be like, "You look amazing, old man."
I told you not, old man. I changed mind. Beautiful lady.
And then he starts throwing back locks of hair that don't exist.
I would recommend the wig for that.
I must go get one. It's a good wig for stars.
You there! He points at a man with long gray hair.
Give me your wig.
You can hear the man almost spit out his drink.
This is not wig. This is not wig. Give wig to stars now.
And then the other old man begins to walk away, speed walk, and Stahl starts stomping after him.
Give wig. Give wig. Give wig.
The villagers all seem to laugh about this. One of them says,
Flowy lock, Fausten. He's going to lose his flowy locks.
You see?
That's his name.
Yeah, Flowy Lock Flawson.
Nice.
Famous for having long, flowy hair, and that's about it.
I am amused by this, and I clap along to the beat of Geef Wig.
Give wig.
And then I'll go grab Blue and drag her toward Joni to sit down next to her. You also look amazing. You are very relaxed.
Joni looks at you with wide eyes, just pupils fully dilated.
They gave me something after I met with the ghost, and I'm just warm.
She's just slowly rocking back and forth.
I'll gently pat her on the back and say, "Just look to fire. It helps."
Yeah, she stares at the fire and nods enthusiastically. It does.
It is a warm time.
I met a ghost out there in the woods. It lured me away from everyone, and I had to deal with it. It was like a demon, but it wasn't. It was dressed like crazy.
And what did you learn from the demons?
I'm not supposed to say. She goes back to staring directly into the fire.
Well, I do not want you cursed, but I congratulate you on the fight well done, she says, indicating the crowd.
She nods. She seems to be like just barely there.
That's fine. She's having a good time.
Yeah.
Perhaps my strings can warm your heart.
Yeah, play some music. Play.
The Zephyr is known for warming with women's hearts.
Go ahead and give me a
Head scratch.
give me a friendly roll.
No.
Oh man.
Reroll.
Really off tune. You can barely get a good sound out of this scythe.
Can I send a favor to give him a reroll?
Well, Kingfisher can re-roll if you want.
You know what? I'll invoke Rippling Heart and see what happens.
Okay. I mean, you can overdrive it.
Overdrive is 0?
Yeah. You don't gotta.
Yeah, I'm gonna choke one more time. I have 1 fate point left.
Okay, go for it.
I'm invoking Child of the Wild, I guess.
All right. You're 3. Yeah, that'll pass. You find that as you are using your fingers to try and play the scythe, it is not an instrument that a normal person's fingers could possibly play. They may be able to pluck like a little bit, but the strings are too hard. And if you exerted yourself too much with just regular your fleshy pads, you'd probably cut your fingers to ribbons on this instrument. But because you have just recently had a lesson in Ripple, whether you realize it or not, from the Gull Master, you are able to maybe what is a thing Kingfisher would have done to reinforce, like, why would he have needed to reinforce his fingertips, his grip? Like during the fight with Gull Master on the cliffs against all those gulls, you could have used it to catch Huff without cutting yourself. Could have used it to climb. What do you feel like Kingfisher would have done? Yes, slippery cliffs.
I'm sort of picturing he did some sort of fancy catching Huff by the end of the spear and needing to, at some point, grab hold of the cliff face. I don't know what sort of hijinks happened, but he needed to get on that cliff.
If you want to get real JoJo, maybe you had to pinch him by one of his little spines. Just the spine to hold him
without
up.
getting stabbed yourself, because it would have hurt.
Yes. Just pinch. Just to grab him. You saved Huff from being consumed by a cloud of hungry gulls. Whether it's true or not, Huff, you feel like those gulls would have just torn you to pieces. Like, just would have left nothing but the bones, and maybe not even that.
Yes, there will be a renewed vigor in Huff's attempts to be mean to seagulls that are mean to the bottlenose boys. Like, it's like before it was just like shooing them away when they show up, but now it is probably going to get way too aggressive on his side.
It's personal.
And no one else will know.
As you guys are doing that, Nyasha actually approaches you, Blue, and Icepeake. And she looks like she's had a drink or two.
Icepeake seems to be really distracted, enjoying the sound of the string music. She loves that. Like, occasionally you'll see her skin vibrate. It's very weird.
Cute. Blue has also been in a much not blue mood. She's like has this new relaxed kind of feeling. She almost seems a little drunk, even though she hasn't had any substances, and she's giving out a lot of hugs, and she's gonna hug Nyasha.
Nyasha looks offended to be hugged. What the hell? Ugh. You two sneak back in here without even trying to say who you are, hiding your identities, when we used to be such good friends.
You want a hug from me too, then?
No, I don't want hug.
You want a hug from me too, the sandwich Nyasha.
Get out, you leave me be. I remember you pipsqueaks.
You're just as I remember you, loud, brash, taking things.
She tries to force the two of you apart. You two should have come back sooner.
I did not know anything was left for me.
Well, the rest of us were here drinking and dying. I guess you are out there living big city lives somewhere else.
I was trying to prepare to come back.
Yeah.
I was a very, very upset mortician.
I will not bring down mood, not be petty. The old people are very, very happy to see the two of you have returned. Many of them were close friends with your parents. Everybody misses the families. So I will not sour this mood. And because of that, I will just go and drink something more and leave you be.
She looks upset about something.
Do you wish to come visit us in Guam?
It's not likely.
No?
Cosby is soon to die, and the village will need somebody here. I cannot leave and do not have time.
Did you become his pupil?
Do not need any of that. I wasn't even baptized. They would never accept me as anything like Crosby. I'm just a strong woman who gets them the jobs, and I tell the people to look the other way, blah, blah, yada, yada. And his only pupil would have been Tina, but you see how she turned out. God, I hate that bitch.
What did happen with Tina?
Nobody wants to talk about that. But
Well, the few words you have said were not flattering.
I think she looks around. I think that bitch is the one who sold us out and told them that they should come, and she runs a thumb across her own throat in the night. I think she was probably stooping one of the officers in the Seven Nation Army or something. I think she is a fucking traitor. And now she wears the bones of our dead on her head like a crown. I think I want to drown that bitch. Don't don't bring up Tina around the old people. Some of them are stupid enough to think that she is doing her part to keep the Domon legacy alive in future. I know the truth. She is dancing on the graves of the dead. I need more drink. Obviously, Nyasha is getting angrier as she talks about this, and the two of you may occasionally have recalled there were stories about Tina being very popular with some of the mainland Russians and officers of the Seven Nation Army. So this maybe isn't the most surprise. Once
Oh, sorry.
oh, good.
Go ahead.
Once Nyasha has stepped away, Stalls returns to kind of the center of the celebrations, small as they are. Everybody, quiet down, please. Be serious. I know I am not a serious guy, but a serious subject. We are here tonight to have small little drinks and some breads and cakes and salt cane candy because we have two daughters, children of Doma. One of them, he points at Icepeake, was the son of Doma, now daughter. That does not ever matter. Son, daughter, husband, wife, child, or parent. All Domans are Domans. All who are accepted by Doma are always Domans. No matter what. No matter what, he emphasizes to the old people who, some of them almost fall out of their seat when he yells at them. And because the two of you are back and we are so happy, I think it is time for a special song. The Song of the Elders. So raise your glasses and your voices, and all of us sing the sacred song of our people for these two children of Doma, who the waves have brought back to us. And he turns to some of the old people who put down their cups. Some people pick up their cups.
And then Stalls turns towards the two of you and opens his mouth and begins to bellow a song. With the scythe accompaniment playing a little synth pad.
Yay!
The spirits of the people seem to raise as their voices also rise to the sky. And the spirits of the Domon seem warmed with the embrace of those they feel they have lost. All are here in celebration. All except one. At a distant building, the Golden Love Resort, Crosby is standing and waiting. He argues again with the Bee Gees, who all seem to be quite stubborn in their opinions. And when it seems that their words will not move him to try and further oppress his people, the doors open to the large office that they are in, and another figure steps in. And Crosby looks upon this person and clenches his fist, and she just smirks and draws her blade. And seemingly a lifetime away, the village celebrates that there is life once again. Elsewhere, it seems that life may be surviving on a razor-thin edge. And that is where we will end the session. Part 1 of 2. The return to Doma, the place where waves are born. Congratulations, you did it.
No.
Oh,
What do you mean now?
I didn't say no. I said, oh.
I said no.
No, you liked it too much.
Oh, they killed him.
Mm.
Do you know how many Ripple Masters there are probably left in the world?
Oh,
Scattered
so
about?
cute. Well, at least we have one in training.
But who's gonna train? Anymore. They're like,
Kingfisher.
Kingfisher and Huff, they will carry on the legacy of the seagulls.
oh my god.
We gotta learn to go with the flow.
Well, Crosby did have one apprentice, and it's Tina.
Oh my god.
Shit, okay.
Well, got Huff and I need to fork up $1,000 then.
I vote for Stalls for the new chief.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty great.
Well, maybe in part 2 we'll, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Man. That was really cute, though.
It was crying time. And then happiness time.
Yes, I loved the switch in mood right after that. It was really cool.